And this is what the Ramban is telling us, that you need to know as a prerequisite knowledge in order to understand the key point here. If you understand that the seed that you have in your body has so much power in it, the power to give somebody vision, the power to give somebody life, the power to give somebody that's alive the ability to hear, to walk, to touch, to taste, to speak. Everything is in that seed. This seed is something you want to make sure is as perfect as it gets. Why? Because nobody wants the kids that have problems. What is it like? If somebody told you, listen, you hungry? Sure, I'm hungry. Well, I have 3 possibilities for you. 1 is a steak. 2 is chicken. And 3 is a meatball. But before you decide, I want to show you them. And he shows you steak, chicken, and a meatball. Steak, you look at it, it looks greenish. Is this from today? No, not from today. Where's it from? I have no idea. Why is it green? Is that food coloring or something? No, I wouldn't call it food coloring. Okay, let me pass. You look at the chicken. Chicken, you're not really sure if it's alive, if it's dead. All types of interesting colors. All types of things that look like maybe it has an abscess or 2. Perhaps you could send it for a surgery. Okay, I'll pass on the chicken. And then you look at the meatball. From the outside, the meatball looks fine, but after seeing the chicken and the meat, you're like, what kind of meatball is it? Oh, because this is a godly meatball. A what? A godly meatball. What's a godly meatball? Only God knows what's in that meatball. We have no idea. Okay, you know what? I'm not hungry anymore. What do you mean? You just said, you sure? No, I'm not hungry anymore. Why? Because before anybody consumes anything, under normal conditions, they want to make sure that that meal is perfect. I'm not going to eat a green steak. I'm not going to eat a chicken that looks like maybe it's going to walk away while I'm eating it. Maybe it's going to say, ow. And I'm certainly not going to eat a piece of meat that nobody even knows where it came from. I want something perfect. Needless to say, before I consume it, I want to make sure that it's perfect. And needless to say, times a million, before a child comes into the world, every single parent wants to make sure that they will do everything possible to make sure that that child comes out perfect. That if somebody would tell them, listen, if you want your kid to be perfect, to have the ability to see, to have the ability to speak, to have the teeth, to have earring, you want this? You have to jump 5 times every day. You'll see every single parent, 8 billion people in the world jumping 5 times a day. Why are you jumping? Oh, I want good kids. So you jump? Yeah. Why? It's a small price to avoid all the problems. See, here the Ramban is telling you, if you want your children to be perfect, first and foremost, protect the source. Protect what's going to make that kid physically. We're not even getting to the spiritual aspect of it, which we've covered extensively and we'll cover more, even more so. We're talking about first and foremost, the physical aspect of it. Make sure that seed is as perfect as can possibly be. Because if you do anything to damage that seed, you can be sure that you will live a life of regret. Gehenom will already begin for you in this world. Now a person says, okay, fine, but what can I do to hurt it? The Ramban says, promiscuity, either with self, with others, or even being with your wife too often, can hurt it. And can hurt you. Why? He says, since we now understand that the power of the organ is found in the general nature of the body, that every single organ, the power for it, is in that seed. Therefore, the seed is part of each and every respective limb and organ in the body. And therefore, it's not fitting for a man to be constantly with his wife like a rooster. Where does he get this term rooster? A chicken lays an egg every day. That means that the rooster is able to be with it every day. But you're not a rooster. You can't be intimate every day. Not with yourself and not with others. Because you're not a rooster. In fact, the Gemara in the Masechet Brachot, page 22a, says that one of the takanot that Ezra instituted is that men at that time, every time they were together with their wives, they had to go dip in a mikveh. The men had to go dip in a mikveh after they were intimate with their wife. This is Tevilat Keri, it's called. Dipping of Keri. Now, this was later on cancelled because it was a takana. It wasn't a biblical obligation. Because they saw that simply the generation wasn't able to do it. People will simply either just not be intimate with their wives, or they would just forsake the law, and then it becomes a sin because it's, at that, once it's the takana and you have to do it, then you have to follow what the Chachamim say. So why add sins to the generation? But why would you add such a takana? Why would you add such a stringency of obligating every man to go to the mikveh after he's together with his wife? The Gemara says that was to protect the Torah scholars. Protect them from turning into roosters and being with their wives every day. Because if they became someone that's like a rooster, certainly their scholarship will be thrown into the garbage. Not just because they'll constantly think about their wife and intimacy and all that other stuff, but because they're not going to have the physical strength, since so much is in that seed.